Everybody, hope you're doing okay. I just wanted to make a quick video about our little ones. So little ones being those between the age of 0 to, let's say, 5 years of age, and technology. I hope you're doing okay, by the way, and I wish you a good rest of the week in advance. So being a parent is a beautiful thing, but it's also really quite the experience, to put it lightly. You're responsible for this person, and sometimes taking care of yourself is already quite the challenge. At least I don't think I'm alone when it comes to this. Technology is a big part of our lives now. In my days, in the 90s, I was a teenager, and I have to look up the exact year, but I remember, so internet was dial-up internet at that time. And so you'd unplug your phone, and I can't remember exactly how you connect the internet, but plug in the internet, and you would hear this sound. I'll insert that at some point to take us back down memory lane, or for those that don't know. And I mean, it was cool. This was something new, to be exposed to the World Wide Web. But we didn't have everything that we have now back then. You didn't have all that information on the internet. You didn't have YouTube. Of course, there was no TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It was just a great new experience. So back then, you would, like I said, you would connect to the internet, but then we would disconnect at some point because you wouldn't. Well, I didn't stay on the internet forever, so to speak. I went on about my life, or about my day. But as we became older, we've gotten to the point where we don't disconnect. And rightfully so at times, because a lot of persons, you need internet for work. You have to be focused on your telephone, or you have to be focused on your tablet, or whatever it is you're using. But for our children, younger ones, there's no need for them to, don't bite off my head here, but between the ages of 0 to, I believe it's 2, or let's say even between 0 and 5, there's no need or reason for them to constantly have all of this screen time. You can do what you want with your child, your children. You can do what you want. However, what's wise, what's sensible, what will benefit them. Yes, there are lots of educational games, and okay, fine, those things are great and necessary. They can learn how to, I'm just saying something, to spell. They can learn how to type. They can learn how to discover and recognize colors and shapes. And yes, I know all of that. However, let's try to and continue to make time for them in regard to sitting down and talking to them. If a child asks us, why is something this way? Let's try not to just say, well, it just is. Let's try to explain to them why something is a certain way, Or if you don't know, then you let them know, I don't know, but I'm going to look into it. Going outside, if you have that possibility, and playing games with them. We don't really have a lot of parks here. Even if we do, they're not parks that are the size of, let's say, well, whatever huge park that may be in, for example, in the US. But we do have some options. We have the beach. If you're not a swimmer, or if your child is not into swimming, you all can just play on the beach. Playing with a ball. If you can't buy a coloring book, you can make your own coloring book with some paper, or a coloring book for the child, or your children. Going outside and looking at plants. Maybe you don't even know the name of a certain plant, or you can ask someone so you can teach your child. Just exploring, having babies go out and explore, feel, touch sand, dirt, leaves, stuff like that. Reading books. Personally, well, I know I have a addiction, as many of us do, when it comes to the phone. Like, if you go to the restroom, you should not be taking your phone with you, because that's supposed to be, well, at least, again, this is an opinion. You should not have to, or want to, or need to, rather. Well, okay, you can want to, but you don't need to take it with you. Why do we do it? It's an addiction. That's something I'm working on. I don't want my child to have that either. I don't want her to think that it's normal to have a conversation with someone and you're on your phone. I don't want her to think that it's normal for you to go to the toilet with your phone, like I was saying. There are commercials now where they're advertising chairs and potties, and a child is sitting there with a tablet in their hand. Do they have some interesting business, or important business rather, that they have to take care of while they're on the potty? Is your child running a business? I mean, it's quite possible in this day and age. But toddlers are in supermarket shopping carts in the supermarket on a phone. Why aren't they looking around, exploring, talking to you about what they're seeing? I don't know what you did before that with them or after, but this is just something that I've observed. Just being in the shopping cart is exciting for some children. Just the experience. Can we get back to that? I know that's kind of difficult, but let's, if we can at least add those things to what we're doing with them, or limit screen time and do activities with them. I'll post some links for, if I can say, ideas. If anyone is interested, that is then. And we can read all of the self-help books at times, or speak to people in regard to advice. If you're, I want to be careful with this, but let's say spiritual person, or someone that believes in Jehovah God, or people give him different names, sorry, but Jehovah, he talks about being wise. I'll also add the scriptures. I'm not going to pretend I am not good at memorizing scriptures. I know one Bible scripture for sure. I learned that as a child. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever should believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. I may have messed up there, but I'll also add that to the description. So he gave his only begotten son so that we may have an opportunity to make better choices, so that we are able to live together forever. That's a whole other story. But so we have the opportunity on this earth, in this life, to do our best for ourselves, try to make as wise decisions as possible, and to help our children. And that has to do with the foundation that we lay for them. We cannot, unfortunately, protect them at all times. When they're smaller, it's a bit easier because in general they may be with us, or they're at daycare, and you hope everything is okay at daycare, or early stimulation, or whatever the situation may be. But that's the moment that we have to really try to give them the tools, the knowledge. And if we don't know, nothing is wrong with asking, and just asking those around us who we know are knowledgeable, wise, kind-hearted, and loving. You can't just ask any and everyone for advice. I know how it is. Sometimes we get advice and it's not the best, or it's not from the best person. So if this is what works for you, with prayer and discernment, we'll figure out as time passes by as to how we can better equip our children. It's a process. Time is flying. I don't understand it myself, but it is just the reality. Time is flying, and we need to try our best to make use of try our best to do as much as we can with our time.